Good morning. Can you tell me where the X-ray department is?
For the X-ray department, if you follow the corridor down here, and it's on your left-hand side, just about halfway down the corridor.
Okay, and when I'm finished there, I want to go for a coffee. Where would I go?
Coffee, there's a couple of options. You can keep going down that corridor to the RVS Cafe.
Okay.
Alternatively, if you're coming back to the front door, there's the restaurant upstairs.
Okay.
And when you've been to X-ray, would you like to complete one of these experience cards? It'll only take me a couple of seconds.
Sure, that's no problem. Okay, thank you very much.
RSVP is the Retired and Senior Volunteer Programme, and as the name implies, we're mostly over 50, although there are a few younger people working or volunteering for us. We have lots of projects right across NHS Forth Valley, here at Larbert Hospital, in Falkirk and Stirling and Clackmannanshire. So we have volunteers in the children's ward, day medicine, the emergency department, just starting talks with the clinical assessment unit. We have people in oncology and in the discharge lounge. And out in the 3 community hospitals, we have audiology volunteers who help with minor repairs to hearing aids. And we also have volunteers in wards in Clackmannanshire and on the reception area at Stirling Hospital. When I meet them, or one of the other organisers in the community hospitals meets with a potential new volunteer, we sit down and talk to them about what opportunities there are, and then we try and find out what they're interested in. And sometimes it boils down to what days they're available as to when there are vacancies, because there are 1 or 2 areas which are very popular where we don't have any vacancies at the moment. So there is that. And according to whether the volunteer is happy standing and walking around or whether they prefer a seated job. Some of us are older, but then we try and place them. And generally, we would give people a taster to make sure that they are comfortable with the role that they're going to take on. They can spend those extra few minutes with the patients, possibly, that the nurses find difficult to fit into their very busy work that they do. They can also perhaps help reassure, sit with people who are on their own who don't have any relatives or other visitors, just make them feel perhaps more comfortable and at ease, and perhaps even be the link between the patient and the nurse.
I have a routine and I'm developing it somewhat, but it's basically to do the small tasks that the nurses would otherwise have to do, and so that frees them up. So the water jugs I fill up. When people leave the beds, I remove the laundry and put it into bags and wash the beds down and remake them, which is a skill that I loved learning and took me quite a while. And chat to people if they're looking a bit anxious, and do sandwiches, tea, coffee, things like that. If I'm honest, and it's not just me personally, but from the comments I've had, they think we're wonderful. You do this, you don't get paid for doing this. And no, I want to do it. And all patients are usually really nice and quite surprised and appreciative of it.
I've always had an affinity with children, always, all through my life. I seem to get on well, I seem to have the magic touch. I stayed in a house in Grangemouth, I built a house in Grangemouth, and it was called Peddy Place, and the children were all called the Peddy Place Munchkins. So it speaks for itself. I love kids. There is 1 or 2 lumping throat times. You're really human if you don't feel that way. It's just 1 or 2 kids come in you just feel a real affinity with. They're really ill. There's nothing you can do. You've just got to try and sit there and cheer them up. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
I don't know. What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Do you think he saw us? That's for the children, that one. We have Christmas parties. Yours truly is Rudolph every year. Sit beside Santa. You know, these sort of things. And any time we've got a busy bee, any time the busy bee's in, yours truly stuck inside it. And if you want to lose weight quick, you have a shot of that for a couple of hours. But that's the sort of things you do, and it's very enjoyable. I'm quite a fun person. I'm quite honest with you at home. I'm quite grumpy at times, but With children, it seems to be a different thing. And in this environment nowadays, it's a very difficult thing to do. But parents seem to think, you go with your kids and you're almost having a fun time with them. I mean, I go into a ward and I say to a kiddie, how are you feeling? I'm fine. Well, what are you doing in your bed? Get home, you know. And I always say to the children, when they're going home, no reoffending, don't come back.
I think hundreds of hours are given up by volunteers, as you say, offering their time, giving their time back to the NHS. Some of them are people who worked in the NHS and others who just feel that they want to support the local NHS. And most of them absolutely love it. And we've had people here for working in the NHS or volunteering in the NHS for 10 years and more than that.
It's one of the best things I've ever done. Ever done. It was better than working in a paid job, I mean. Yes, I would, if anyone's not just at a loose end, wanting something for themselves as well, and just feeling that, I've got a place to come, I've got things to do. So, yes, think about it seriously and do it.